If you love a roast potato, then you are in the right place. It's a Potato Queen here, and I'm back testing and rating the best ways to make roast potatoes. From the super easy shop bought, to my own classic intermediate level roasties, to an expert level roast potato that goes the extra mile in every sense of the word. One of these spuds actually get a 10 out of 10 rating today. And that's coming from the Potato Queen. To make the easiest roast potatoes, there's nothing more convenient than getting a bag out the freezer and throw them into the oven. So we're gonna roast these off and see if they stand up to a traditional or an expert level roast potato. I need a rebrand of this. We need to do like Aunt Poppy's. That actually works. I could do an IES as well. I think that's my future. I think I'm gonna become, if I put my hair up in a bun, I think I look like her as well. I'm giving Aunt Bessie energy. But would they, I don't want to be that person, but I don't think I've ever used frozen roast potatoes before. I have definitely eaten them, but I haven't actually used them before. So let's see the instructions. These ones are fancy. These ones are in duck fat. Convenient, easy, and tasty. Maybe, we don't know yet. But let's see, it's 210 degrees in the oven. Okay, 30 minutes. You literally preheat the oven, put this on a baking tray, and then you leave them to cook. Wow, that is easy. That's not. It is very easy. The thing is with me, like I'm a chef and all that, and I will show you how to make the best roast potatoes, but I'm not afraid of saying, if these are really good and you haven't got time, and for convenience and also probably price point maybe, I need to check the facts on that. I'm not adverse to a frozen food at all. I think everyone has such busy lives, time poor, money poor, everything poor at the minute. So if it works out that these are best, go for it, gal. Just go for it. Why not? So these are going into the oven. 30 minutes. We will see. That is easy. That is easy. That is beginner level roast potato. So here we have our easy frozen duck fat roast potatoes. 30 minutes in the oven, no faff, no nothing. They look great. They do sound good as well. There are a couple of blemishes, but I'm interested to try them. I think the one thing that's definitely evident is that they are very inconsistent sizes. And I mean, there's that one, and then there's like a half a potato. But inconsistency doesn't mean that it's bad. They're not terrible. Then they're fluffy-ish on the inside. They've got a nice crunchy outside bite. I think flavour-wise, they're lacking a little bit. Maybe it's because I haven't salted them. Is that a little bit of a disadvantage? I'm gonna put a bit of salt on and have another little bite. I think they're almost a little bit sweet. I think that the type of potato that's used, again, I don't know what type of potato it is, almost tastes a bit like parsnip. But, the salt's better. But the fact that you can just get them out of the freezer, throw them onto a tray and into the oven for half an hour is very easy. One thing I did notice though, you don't get many. Like I need like another bag. So I think out of 10 for convenience and also for the amount of washing up that you don't have to do, I'd probably give these a solid 6.5 on the easy roast potatoes. I think I might get a bag in the freezer just in case. Nah, I wouldn't, but I get it. For the intermediate roast potatoes, which is my go-to foolproof, delicious roast potato recipe, you're gonna need Maris pipers, get them peeled and quartered, and then get them into heavily salted cold water. Get them on to boil. It's gonna be around 15 minutes or so, until they're really quite soft actually, a little bit softer than you would expect them to be. Then drain them off, put them in the colander over the pan with a tea towel over the top and leave them to steam dry for a further 5 to 10 minutes until you get this lovely starchy white outside. In that time, get a tray of vegetable or sunflower or neutral flavoured oil into the oven. You need quite a nice layer of oil in there. Super hot, it's going to be about 200 degrees Celsius. And then once you've steam dried your potatoes, pour them into that lovely hot fat and get them into the oven to roast for around 40 to 50 minutes. They do look blooming fantastic. I do love that outer shell of golden crispiness. That's what you want. And they should be lovely and fluffy, woo, and really hot on the inside. So let's give these a rating. Well good. You really get that lovely kind of potato flavour, and they're simple, but they are good. Super crispy on the outside, tasty. This is a hard one because these are good. So I think for intermediate, I think that's got to be an 8.5 out of 10. An 8.5 out of 10. They're delicious. I would give it a 10 out of 10, but I know there's one more to come. So I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. But that is my go-to. Delicious roast potatoes. 8.5 on the intermediate. Now, for the expert way of cooking roast potatoes, this is going to be a lot of ingredients, a lot of work, and again, a lot of attention to make sure. It's all about attention to detail. So this isn't just whacking them in a pan, getting them in the oven. This is real shit. This is real shit. We're going flavour, we're going extravagance, and we're going extra ingredients that you might not always put into your bog standard delicious roast potatoes. First of all, we're going to need Maris Pipers. I think universally in the UK, Maris Pipers are the best for a roast potato. King Edwards sometimes are in there. So we've got some Maris Pipers that are all even sized. Get them peeled. And then we're going to make sure that there's no lumps, bumps, eyes, any kind of blemishes on the potato. I've now picked the most blemished potato to show you this, but it's fine. So just peel away any of those bits that aren't quite perfect. I've got a couple of bruises. Again, I'm not peeling absolutely loads off, but just where it needs to be, just to get rid. With anything expert, it just needs to have a little bit more precision, a little bit more time, just to make sure that everything is done evenly. I'm going to halve them all first. Yeah, I think we're going halves. I think they're just well, that's massive though in comparison to that. I'm saying do it evenly, and these are huge. Expert my arse. You'd be surprised in proper posh kitchens when something, and I don't want to do an expose, but they will waste quite a lot of stuff to make sure everything's perfect. But now maybe not so much. They'll actually use it into other things, like you'll put it into stocks, you put it into soups, but you'd be surprised at the amount of, well, used to be. I haven't worked in kitchens for years, so you know, I'm saying that as an outsider. I don't want any, don't come for me. All the chefs, they all hate me anyway. Fine. Are you even? That's big. We're going quarters on the majority of them, just to make sure that they all cook evenly. The thing is, you just don't want some to be cooked fully and mush, and then some to be still standing and hard. So to add even more delicious flavour, we're going to use a beef stock pot or cube into the water. And now it's all about seasoning this water as much as possible because the potatoes are going to absorb that flavour. So, bay leaf, fresh or dried, whichever one you've got. If you've got fresh bay leaves, you've got a nice bay leaf tree in your garden, that's the dream. I did buy one and I killed it, so. A little handful of peppercorns again, flavour. A nice couple of sprigs, that was a big sprig, a sprig of rosemary. Some sprigs of thyme. Just infusing the water with beautiful flavour. And then half a bulb of garlic, cut straight down the middle, the root end in. This is going to be the most delicious water you've ever tasted. We'll put in, again, half a small onion as well. Now we need plenty of salt. Don't scrimp on the salt whenever you're making anything with potatoes. Even though it's got a stock cube in, we still need a little bit of salt in there. Maybe a tablespoon. And then we can get our potatoes in as well. So everything goes in. Remember, whenever you're making anything, any roast potatoes, expert or not, make sure you start off in cold water. It just means that they'll cook more evenly. Maybe a bigger pan. That'll be fine. Put these on to boil. So, expert level roast potatoes are parboiled. Actually, I've taken them a little bit further just so they really get loads of that flavour and super soft and fluffy and delicious. So we're just going to drain them into a colander. They smell absolutely gorgeous with all of those lovely aromats and the beef stock that we've used. I'm going to carefully, expert level, I'm actually going to pick them out one by one just to make sure they don't break up and smash as they hit into the colander. But this delicious juice here, that is the start of a fantastic soup. A little stock, a little, you know, that's like a little mug of deliciousness. So I'm going to keep that and I'm probably going to drink it because I've got a cold and I think that that starchy, delicious water is going to be good for me. I'm saying expert, I don't have any of the equipment for it. So I'm showing you how you can have expert level roast potatoes without having anything ready. I'm going to start fishing these potatoes out one by one just to make sure, because they are lovely and soft and that's how we want them, that they don't break apart. If you pour them into a colander, it's very likely they're going to smash on top of each other. I'm going to roast the garlic, I'm going to roast the onion with the potatoes just so that we have all of that lovely flavour. And if you are doing this on a Sunday dinner, that's the start of your gravy as well. Another layer of adding complexity to the roast potatoes is to make sure that they steam for a little while. So on the drying rack with a tea towel over and just let the residual heat from the potatoes themselves dry themselves off. Because when we come to cook them in the oven, we want them to be super dry so they get super crispy. So we'll leave them for another 10 minutes or so. I'm a dirty, dirty girl. And this tray just kind of proves that a little bit. Look, if you want polished, don't come to this channel because that's not me. This tray is just well loved and well used, all right? And I think it's just fat that I haven't got off. For the roast potatoes, whilst they're steam drying, we're going to get some fat into the oven. Now I'm using beef fat because we're going for like full beef roast potatoes, expert deliciousness. So I'm going to get about 3 large tablespoons of fat in. The more fat, the better. Well, no, because then we don't want to deep fry them, but just plenty of fat. That's going into the oven, which is preheated at 180 degrees Celsius. If that's with the fan on, so it'd be 200 degrees without the fan on, which I don't even know any ovens that don't use the fan anymore, so it's going in the oven to get nice and hot. Okay, so we've left our expert roast potatoes to sit and just steam dry for a little bit. And you can see there's a little bit of like this lovely white, they're dry, the starch has come up to the top, which means they're gonna get lovely and crispy. Now the last kind of step to help elevate these is a tip that I've seen about adding rice flour to them, and a seasoned rice flour at that. So I've searched the internet and found that this seems to be a really nice way to get that lovely crispy exterior with an added bit of help. I've got a couple of tablespoons of rice flour in here, and now you can kind of season to whatever it is that you fancy. I'm going to do maybe half a teaspoon of garlic granules. I found some celery salt and I thought actually, yeah, celery salt will go in this. I'll do half a teaspoon of celery salt and then a teeny bit of mustard powder. I like the taste of mustard powder. Again, you could kind of add in what you like. So we've got our seasoned rice flour, and because it's got the celery salt in already, I'm not going to add any extra salt. These are already nice and salted. And what I'm going to do is, because they're very delicate, I'm just going to dust over the top with the flour. I don't think, from what I've seen, you need like it to be completely coated. It's just to have a light dusting to add extra crispiness. Rice flour gets super crispy, a little bit like corn flour. So it should add a lovely extra layer of flavour and texture. I am going to use a sieve just to get an even sprinkling of our rice flour concoction. Oh yes. Oh God, this is good. It might be a bit too much. Oops. And then we'll turn them and do the other side as well. I'm excited to try this. Okay, cool. Oh, I'm breaking them. This is how delicate they are. They're so beautiful, but they're so delicate. The absolute hypocrisy of me telling you this is the fine dining way to do it, and this is the mess that I've created. Expert level my arse. I've said that so many times now. I've been watching Royal Family. It's fine. Right, these are going to go into the oven. The fat is hot. I need to get that out. 2 minutes. I smell like beef. Okay. And now I'm going to also kind of mildly, delicately throw these in. Woo! Nice and sizzly. Just be careful again. Asbestos fingers, guys, asbestos fingers. Get these in, get them back into the oven, and we're going to roast them. And because it's expert level, we're going to give them a lot of attention. I'm going to keep turning them every 7 minutes or so, just to make sure that every single angle, crevice, nook, cranny is completely saturated in fat and flavour and crispy and delicious. And then I'm going to get my garlic in as well. Get the garlic in, get the onion in, rosemary, thyme, back into the oven. Now, these beauties are our expert level roast potatoes. They do look sensational. They are golden all over. They're bloody hot and very heavy tray. Oh, these look good. I don't want to be biased. But they also smell really nice. There's plenty of fat in there. I'll be honest with you, I have made the sizes a little bit inconsistent. But I'm not making them in the factory, so. Ooh. Wow. Now, these are the expert level roast potatoes. There's a lot more steps, it's taken a lot longer, and there's a lot more ingredients in them. They do look banging. They look really good. They look super crispy. They look like golden. This one with all the jagged edges is what I'm going for, because I think the crisp on that is going to be phenomenal. These look really good. Don't be biased. I really wanted the intermediate ones to be the best. The rice flour has added a different layer of crispiness. It's like crispy, but it's also absorbed the flavour of the fat that we've cooked them in, which is really good. The amount of flavour they've got, not only do they taste like elevated, delicious potato, but you've got that touch of garlic, the onion slightly in there as well. And we put the mustard powder on and the celery salt. Oh my God, these are good. Ow, it's really hot. Sorry, that was so hot. But they're very special, I think. The rice flour is really good. It's completely cooked, so you don't taste like flour. But it does add another layer of almost like they've been deep fried. And it's that crispiness that you want in roast potato. The potatoes themselves are so fluffy inside. And that's from the techniques that we've used of the steaming, cooling down. Oh, they're really good. Oh,
I've got to rate it. I would rate this. It's probably a 10. That is probably a 10 out of 10 because the amount of flavour that you get into it, there's so much more flavour in comparison to the other two. Oh, I wish it wasn't true, but it is. That is a 10 out of 10. Expert level roast potatoes. So there we have it. Look, in third place, we have our frozen shop bought roast potato. Super easy, convenient, but meh. In second place, we have our gorgeous, golden, crispy, standard roast potato. A little bit less effort, but lovely flavour. And in first place, which I didn't want it to be because I wanted to showcase that they're all good, but first place has got to be expert level, super flavourful, crunchy, crispy, soft, fluffy roast potato. That is something special. Oh. That's good.